Thank you all for coming to another edition of the Contributor Technical Discussions. Per our traditions, we'll kick things off with Leon and the Gnome Digest.
Thank you, Nemanja. Welcome back, everyone. So after a short break, we're building momentum for better mainnet. And one of the things that happened relatively recently was that we hosted a meetup in Belgrade on the 28th of August. And it was it was a nice meetup. It was there to show that we are an active community in Serbia and Belgrade, and we invite everybody who's there in the region to come and talk to us and visit us. Next, we created a beta launch board. This was some time ago, but the idea with this is that everybody can follow very easily what's the remaining progress on mainnet. Next, we did a namespace refactor that most of you have noticed probably so far. So we've moved so we've created a major breaking change essentially in the examples folder by actually changing a lot of the namespaces. So for example, now the AVL tree, for example, the UFNT package, the SecID package, all these packages that were super important and very used in the Gnome ecosystem have been moved to more official namespaces. This now makes it more easy for everybody to understand that they are safe and actually practical to use. So essentially, if you want to check out the whole list of changes, please refer to the master branch and the examples folder over there. Also in the PR itself, so PR is number 4461. There's a nice summary that was made by Gillum. It's a big table of summaries, so you can actually check out what was moved where. Okay, that's nice. Next, we have created a way, one of the members of the Samurai team has created a way to essentially enforce that everybody who can vote on GovDAO, so in the GovDAO, when you vote, you actually need to have a namespace registered. This is just going to make it much easier for everybody to track and see who's voting on what and who's missing with the votes. Next, we have this small little realm that essentially allows you to just quickly derive a address from a package path, because the realms, their addresses are actually derived straight from the package path. So it's like the originating seed for the derivation. I've found this quite practical because a lot of the times when I want to check the balance of my realm or something similar, I need the address, and I didn't really have a nice way to get the address, but now with this realm, now we can actually just plop in the package path and get the address immediately. This is an old PR that was made by one of our interns at one point. Jovan made a ticketing system which is now live or is in the master branch under Eventex, where you can actually make small events, and you can actually have an NFT ticket, and they can be, for the events, essentially everybody can buy tickets with either native coins or the GRC20 token. This is also a good, it's a nice example of how you can actually utilize the GRC20 token. So for example, when the creator of the event is making the event, they can pass in the object of the GRC20 token, and that's going to determine basically later down the line how the payment is going to be made. We've had lots of VM and tooling fixes in the past 2 weeks. There've been a lot of things happening, so please check out the master branch commits, and we're just trying to make the VM, Gnokey, Gnodev, and all the other tools safe and more practical for everyone. And finally, we have something cooking for the Volos team, so go check out what's going on over there. And then finally, as with every other digest, we post a link to the previous one. So if you had missed the last one, you can just jump to it immediately. And that would be it. Thank you, everybody, for helping make this happen and generally contributing to Gnome and being great gnomes.
Thank you, Leon. Moving over to the demo section, Berty will demo the Gnoclient mobile UX.
Thank you. Thanks, Nemanja. Hi, guys. Just before Yuri's gonna going to share the screen and start. Just maybe a bit of intro. In the last months, we worked quite a lot in polishing the UI part and UX, especially since this being a key management app and transaction signing, security is important, and giving the perception of the users to make the app feel not only be but also feel safe and secure is important. So work is not ready, but we've come quite a long way. We wanted to show you the progress in case you're not aware. So Yuri, take it away.
All right, thanks. We are now using Face ID to unlock the Gnoclient mobile, and we have a sections, and we can disable the Face ID if you don't like it. And if you do this and refresh the app, it will start asking you password again. All the password and secret and private data are now secured by iOS keychain, iOS enclaves their own OS running separately from the main processor in an iOS. Regarding the UIs on development, we have some changes here. In the top, you can switch the networks. You'll be able to fetch the keys locally and also fetch your balance from the chain. For those who don't know, this app runs Gnokey on mobile, so it's the same code you have on your machine we have here on mobile. We are running Go, and yeah, I think for today is this. Just want to create accounts. The same flow, right? We opted to force the user to select the account or the chain while creating the account. For this chain specifically, we can call the faucet running APIs, but for other chains, we need to open a browser and open the faucet hub as usual. Hope to demonstrate more features in the future, but for today is just a quick overview about how is it going. If we have any, we can add more networks here. But if you have any questions or any suggestion to us or anything that you can integrate, as usual, it's still working with integrated with the apps. Like we have this the apps, the social, that's pretty much the board V1 or V2 that you can use to sign or to interact with Gnokey. We can select a key to sign in. It will return to the app, passing the data, and then you can do a post, and it will ask. And then the app will broadcast the message, the signed message.
Jeff?
Now that we see the username up there, I saw a draft PR that was suggesting to loosen up the rules for registered usernames, for example, not needing 3 numbers. I'm just curious what the state of that is, because of course it would affect this app. Is that off the shelf now or closed? So we're not doing it. All right. That's it. Thanks.
Thanks. That's it for today.
By the way, just to check, you're still using the original version of boards, right? You haven't made a switch to boards V2?
I can answer that. we're using a separate app. We created DSocial, which was derived by boards, but set up to be more Twitter-like. But we definitely do want to make a mobile version of boards too. So that's on the our horizon.
Got it. Thanks for clearing it up. All right, moving over to the second demo, Multisig UI by the Samurai team.
Actually, my connection is really bad, so and it's a video. So can you just play the video that's linked on the? Or you want me to share?
No, I can play it. Just give me a second.
Thanks. Sorry, I should have warned you about that.
Life is made of little surprises. Just got to make sure that I'm sharing the audio as well.
Demo of work in progress on the multisig. So I have here 2 or 3 multisig. You can also create new with the UI, but I won't demonstrate it now because I need to add some more feature to make it a good UX. I also skipped the login part because actually you have to log in into the multisig services, but I need to do it with Kepler right now, so not showing it. But then, okay, I can make a little send, create a send proposal to this address, for example, of 10. I can sign it with the currently logged in account, which is one of the member of the multisig. This UI will improve, but you can see the member, their profile also, that the assets held by this multisig. I sign, I switch accounts, I sign again, I broadcast, and now I can see the successful 10 takes. So that's for the send, and for the ream call, you can either fill all the params yourself. You will also have to set the fee because we can't simulate the takes. And there's also a nice feature, which is if you have takes link, you can copy it here. It will pre-fill the values specified in this. And let me. I think this is a valid name, I hope. I can propose to register a name. So it's try to be clear sign. You can see the params, everything, and you can't obfuscate it. For the sign is the same thing also. Now. Yeah, I need to approve the other account. Up, then broadcast, and now this multisig has a name. You can see that it takes here, and also I can go to the profile of this multisig, and it should have a username. No, it doesn't. Okay, other bug. But anyway, the takes worked for the call also, and that's it. And to answer your question, actually, Jeff or Yuri, it would be maybe nice that we can integrate a Gnokey to sign the multisig transactions. I don't know if you can redirect to Gnokey Mobile browser, like if you navigate to something on your browser and then could you interact with Gnocchi Mobile? There is a way to get a deep link. Yuri has been experimenting with that. And I have a question for you. So when I do multisigs using the Gnocchi command line, each of the participants needs to have the public keys of the other participants. Is that in what you just showed us, or how do you transmit how does everybody get the other people's public key in a secure way? Okay, so there's a backend. The backend you need to be logged into. To log in, you need to sign ADR36 document, which is like a kind of a standard in Cosmos for Web2 sign-in, let's say, actually signing messages. So you log in with your wallet, you prove that you own an address. When you create a multisig, you push the public key to our server while being logged in. We check that you are a member of we parse the multisig public key, check that you are a member so you can create multisigs for other people. But this also allows us to show it in the others. Like if you create a multisig with you and other people, these other people will see an invitation to your multisig in their UI automatically. And to get the public keys of everyone, actually, there is two ways. If the person already made a transaction on the chain, you can just enter their address and the public key will be automatically fetched. In the other case, you need to enter gpub beg32 encoded public key. All right. In the UI, which you can ask for Gnocchi. It's easy to print it. For other clients like Adina, I'm not sure if it's easy to get the public key, but it should not be hard to add. But yeah, that's how it works. Great. We did start looking at that. Of course, Remy's doing more work on the command line multisig verify, so we're kind of neck deep in that. One reason why we didn't push on it right now is Gnocchi Mobile is going to have a focus on account sessions and managing those. And I'm wondering, do account session keys interact with multisig keys at all, or are they two different worlds?
No, they can interact.
Yeah, I would say, because one example is that you could have a security multisig with you, your friend, and your grandma that can enable a normal key that you use, like an account session that you use for every day. And if you die or something, then your grandma and your friend can come together to recover the account. Interesting.
Some account session will be focused on being restricted on the usage, and some other account session will just be restricted to a specific device, but with full access. So you can imagine using a dedicated device to make multi-sig usages. So yeah, you could have an account session exclusively used for multi-sig.
Okay.
Thank you, Norma, for a great demo, even though it was pre-recorded. So moving over to the discussion section. Berty, you had an estimate gas question.
That's right. So we have this PR. Manfred just looked at it. So there's this Gnoclient API, which is in the main repo, and we use this in Gno native kit. And it has an EstimateGas, which sets up the simulated transaction and does all that fun stuff. But now that we have storage fees too, we need some way to get that information from EstimateGas. So my initial idea was EstimateGas to just add one parameter. And so when EstimateGas runs the simulation, it simply returns the events. And then the caller can use a utility method like this one, which is used by Gnocchi command line, to scan the events and return the storage deposit fees. so that was my initial idea. Because it's pretty easy just to call get storage info. Then you have separately, you have the gas fee is what the transaction tells the tells what it's going to spend for the gas fee, and then you can just add in the coins that you get from scanning for the storage events. And my instinct was to do a minimal change to estimate gas and just use the same utility function that the Gnokey command line is using. Manfred suggested that maybe we should have either change this or have a function inside Gnoclient which does more heavy lifting. Maybe it will scan the events and basically just get storage info internally. But just wanted to get some feedback on what people thought, because when we had this, then we can put it inside Gnokey Mobile. The goal, of course, is that one of those screens that Yuri was showing you when you sign a transaction, it would tell you how much it's going to cost. That's our end goal that we want to get to, and this is one little step that we need. Am I getting?
I think Manfred has a question, Jeff.
Yeah.
No, I just want to, actually, I expect this to not be in Gnoclient, but I don't know from the chain itself.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think I don't want to see every client to implement the same mechanism everywhere. It makes sense to keep the events, so we have the detail and we can make additional stuff, especially for indexers. But no, I expect this value, the consumed gas and the consumed storage gas, to be returned as a single value. So whatever you could have 10 underlying storage, and that's fine to have 10 events. I consider to return directly the sum of everything directly in a single call. If you estimate, you have the value. If you don't estimate, you see the value. But I think that's what Norman did in another PR, if I'm not wrong.
So let me get this right. You want this to be handled by the chain?
Yeah, by the keeper probably, or the chain. I don't know exactly where.
Because we put a lot of work into getting this approved, this method.
Not sure. I think it's better to have this managed by the chain once, and it's actually cheap. It's about making a sum of integers. I prefer having this instead of expecting all the clients to do the same job.
Thing
All
is
the clients to have to parse events with JSON marshalling. Yeah, I think it's more a problem of not implementing it by the chain, at the chain level.
So the price for storage is pretty much fixed, but the price for gas is dynamic, and so that's another reason why we separated this. Is like if you want to get an estimate of what you're going to pay from the gas, that you need to do another call to the chain to ask for the current gas price. And I think the idea was you don't want the chain necessarily doing that itself. I don't know. Wow. So what's the best way forward here?
Basically, I think your logic makes sense, but I would not have it implemented in the Gnoclient side, but at server side, where we are basically returning the structure with the result. The ABCI event, the result where we have if it's a failed transaction or a successful one, what was the total gas cost in terms of compute. And in my opinion, we should consider having a total storage gas at this moment in the API.
Well, there's two things. One is estimating before sending the transaction, and then afterwards. Afterward is pretty straightforward, right? Because you don't have to estimate the gas. That the chain is going to take this much gas, exactly how much.
The way we manage estimate is by basically making a dry run. So I think if we focus on returning a single value for the consume compute gas and another one for the consume storage gas, then we can just return the value so we can display it after a real transaction, or we can use a dry run mode. We simulate that we send a huge amount of gas. We simulate and we just print the actual real usage. So any client, Adina, Gnocey, Gnocey Mobile, or whatever, just use this value. So I think we need to rely on more people. Probably Ray has more information regarding the gas thing. Other people, more aware than I am, should know where is the best place. But what I prefer to consider preventing is to expect all the clients to do what you are doing in Gnoclient, because we have your case, we have Adina, we have Gno.js client users, Go client users, and upcoming clients. And yeah, I think I would prefer not having to rely on events parsing for all the implementations, if we can avoid it. Maybe what you did is what we will move forward, but I think at this stage of the implementation, we should just rely on more opinions.
Because the gas estimate also involves this margin factor, and so right now when you estimate, you know it's adding the margin for flexible gas prices handled by the client. If not, then we'd have to add more parameters that we pass into the chain if it's going to do the computation and add the margin and all that stuff. That kind of hurts my brain a little.
Yeah, can we? I will ping a few people on your PR to get their opinion.
Okay. That's good. Thanks. That's it. Unless anybody else has feedback. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. I had one more topic to discuss. Unfortunately, we don't have everybody who I'd like to have for this conversation, but the idea is, just give me a second. So for this PR, we had a lengthy discussion around how it can be executed, and it came down to two options. So the package path should either be a realm or a pure package, and we kind of went back and forth. And I wanted to see if anybody wanted to add anything to this topic. I know Leon and Norman are close to this, and they're on the call. We don't have the on-block people who are pushing to get this merged so they can use it for the Gnoclient. So any thoughts?
I think we decided to keep it like this. My comment is not relevant anymore. So for me, it's good. I can approve. Sorry.
All right, so that's one obstacle less. In that case, I'm going to stop presenting. And if anybody has anything they want to add at the last minute as a topic, you have 5 seconds. All right, I guess we can wrap up early. Thank you all for coming. This was another great episode of the Contributor Technical Discussions. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.